Hey, what's going on, fellow coin lovers? It is Kyle here with Variety and Airs. Let's go over some of the most valuable dimes that you can find in circulation. Let's start right off with the 1982 No Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. Now this one can be found in pocket change, as many examples have been. The Philadelphia Mint began applying mint marks to dimes in 1980. But in the early 80s, mint marks were still individually hand-punched onto the working dies. A set of dies went into production without the mint mark of P. Many of these 1982 no mint mark dimes were shipped to Ohio, and possibly thousands of them were distributed as change at the Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio. The 1982 no mint mark dime is considerably scarce, but can be found in loose pocket change. Likely tens of thousands of them were minted, a small percentage of the 519.4 million 1982 Roosevelt dimes the Philadelphia Mint produced that year. The 1982 no mint mark dime with a weak strike is worth roughly $55 in most uncirculated grades. Those bearing a stronger strike are worth closer to $175 to $250 each. Next on our list is the 1975 No S Roosevelt dime. The 1975 No S proof Roosevelt dime is one of the most valuable of all modern coins, not to mention dimes themselves. Just two known specimens exist, so don't plan on finding this one after you go to the sandwich shop in your loose change. The most recent sale at auction realized $456,000. It's not hard to see why this coin is worth so much. There are just a couple available, and they belong to one of the most widely collected series of all United States coins. However, collectors, especially newcomers, need to know that both examples are accounted for. They will not find this coin floating around in pocket change unless everyone is just totally wrong about the amount of them that are out there. If, and that is a huge if, there is a third specimen out there, you will be sitting on something that's worth between $500,000 and $700,000. Next on our list is the 1942 over 1 and 1942 over 1D overdate Mercury dimes. These scarce overdate varieties are two of the most sought-after dimes from the 20th century. There are more of them out there. The 1942 over 1 variety from Philadelphia clearly shows the numeral 1 to the immediate left and just barely under the 2 in the date. At the same time, the 1942 over 1D exhibits light traces of a 1 under the left side of the number 2 in the date. Both examples are considered very scarce by most numismatics. These coins are generally worth $400 to $500 in circulated grade, but in much rarer cases, in uncirculated specimens, they have realized over $3,000 at auction. Next on our list is the 1916D Mercury dime. The 1916D Mercury dime is just about as famous a rarity as the 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cent. Now, we covered the SVDB Lincoln Cent in our most valuable pennies video, so if you're not familiar with the 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cent, definitely check out my other video on Lincoln pennies. Only 484,000 examples of the 1916D Mercury dime were ever made, and just a fraction of those exist today, hardly enough to meet collector demand. While many people dream of landing a 1916D Mercury dime in circulation, this has always been a difficult piece to find in loose pocket change. The best way to acquire one of these is to buy it from a coin dealer, but what's the fun in that? One that was actually found in circulation traded for around $1,000 in a low circulated grade, but we've seen better specimens take higher prices, with examples in extremely fine 40 selling for around $6,000, and uncirculated examples with full bands have realized almost $12,000 at auction. Next on our list is the 1894 S Barber dime. Here's a valuable dime with a huge story behind it. It's believed that the San Francisco Mint had an accounting shortfall of $2.40 in 1894. So San Francisco Mint Superintendent John Daggett reportedly had a tiny sum of 24 proof dimes bearing the 1894 date in S MINTMARK struck to balance these books out. He then gave many of these Barber dimes to his close friends and associates. He also is said to have given 3 to his daughter Holly, who spent one of them on a dish of ice cream and kept the other 2. Only 9 1894 S proof Barber dimes are accounted for today, and all realized more than, $1.1 million when they come across the auction block. Next on our list is the Carson City Liberty Seated Dime. It seems many collectors today are reflexively intrigued by a coin with a CC mint mark. It designated that the piece was minted at the Carson City Mint in Nevada. All coins bearing the CC mint mark are considered very scarce by most collectors today. The Carson City Seated Liberty dime, struck from 1871 through 1874, are exceedingly rare. All are at least 4-figure coins in a grade of good 4. The most valuable of these dimes is the 1873 CC, which saw a mintage of only 12,400 specimens and offers collectors just one known survivor today. Keep that in mind, one known survivor. As we've seen before with other coins, for many years they'll believe that only 1 or 5 or 10 of them exist, and boom, a couple of them will be found. The 1873 CC dime in mint condition fetched $1.84 million in 2017. Last on our list before we go through some honorable mentions and other dimes to look for that are much easier to find in circulation are the 1796 and 1797 draped bust dimes. The dime was first struck in 1796, representing an early period in the United States Mint federal coin production. The 1796 draped bust dime is extremely valuable. This is not just because it marks the first year of the denomination and when it was struck, but also because it's a genuinely rare coin. Only 22,135 examples were made, and only a fraction of those survived. I mean, you're talking about a coin that's well over 200 years old, and a 1796 dime is worth about $2,600, even if it's an extremely heavily worn grade. But ones that have a better grade to them can be worth an upwards of $5,000 to almost $10,000 depending on actual condition. In addition to the most valuable dimes that we've covered in this video, there are others you should keep an eye out for when rooting through your loose change. BARBER and MERCURY dimes. Most people are focused on the super valuable dimes in this video, but that's not to suggest that there aren't ones that are worth keeping. All 19th century coins are relatively scarce and valuable. Even those from earlier decades of the 20th century are as well. That's so with the BARBER and MERCURY dime series, all of which are worth at least $2 and up in worn condition. All pre-1965 Roosevelt dimes are something you should hold on to. Like other coins that are pre-1965, these coins contain a 90% silver composition and are worth significantly more than their face value. When silver trades at $25 per ounce, for example, a typical worn pre-1965 Roosevelt silver dime has a content value of roughly $1.80. Another great dimes to look for are no mint mark proof Roosevelt dimes made after 1967. Most proof Roosevelt dimes made since 1968 have been struck at the San Francisco Mint, which places an S mint mark on its proof coinage. However, some modern proof coins from the San Francisco Mint lack that critical detail. We've seen this with the 1975 no S proof Roosevelt dime, and this is also the case with certain proof dimes from 1968, 1970, and 1983. Proof Roosevelt dimes from those years are known without an S mint mark, and all of these are rare and worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on condition and date. Lastly on our list of dimes to look for, the 1996 W Roosevelt dime. In honor of the 50th anniversary of the design, the West Point Mint issued Roosevelt dimes with a W mint mark in 1996. They were included in the 1996 uncirculated sets, specially for collectors. This is still the only non-bullion coin ever issued at the West Point facility and can garner a large value both to collectors and just a nostalgia thing, as well as good old cash. These coins have been seen to be worth thousands of dollars at auction due to their rarity. Well, once again, it's been an adventure going through currency. That's something I love to do. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let me know in the comments below what you've come across recently in your coin and bill searches lately. Thank you so much for coming to the video on dimes. Check out my other videos on most valuable coins. Keep on searching. Good luck to you in your next coin or bill search, and I will see you in the next video.